you want to stop hitting poor chip shots just like the one on screen, stop fatting, stop thinning your shots, then today in this golf video we are going to give you a golf lesson of how to hit better chips, strike them better, flight them better, and control your spin. Guys, welcome to Get Good at Golf. I am Chris, and if you're new to this channel, then welcome to the channel. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you want to see daily tips of how you can get good at golf. And guys, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, welcome back. Let's talk about those chip shots you will have just seen on screen. So those miss-hitting shots that we see so many times down here, even if we're going for this middle flag here, how many times I see people, we've done the hard work, we've got all the way here, and that's the kind of shot that we see straight away. And you'll see on screen that there is a lot of things on there numbers wise, because today we are using hack motion to show you how your wrists are going to control what kind of ball flight you get, what kind of contact you get, and how you can lower your scores. So you'll see on screen there, obviously we've got a lot of movement. So what we want to see during the motion in chipping is relatively neutral wrists and hands through these kinds of shots. So to that middle flag right there, I don't need to be trying to get the club all the way up here, hinging that club, and then from there I've got a lot of work to do. So I've got a lot of work to get this club face back down to that golf ball at the right time. If I don't turn my body, we're going to get that shot right there. What we also see is very much the shots where somebody goes, okay, I'm going to make sure I get this ball into the air. Well, I've hit down into the golf ball because everybody's told me to hit down, but you can see there the golf ball was situated probably there in regards to that divot. You can see that I've dug straight in there and I've gone straight underneath the golf ball, especially this time of the year. So if you're in the UK, you're probably thinking, yes, it snowed, or we've had some indifferent weather. We've had a little bit of rain and we now maybe haven't got perfect lives like we have out here at West Cliffs in Portugal. So you need to think about what you need to do, and the more we obviously have the hands involved and we don't get the body working correctly, the less chance we have of getting that solid strike. So again, we've got to think, what do I need to do at setup to hit better chip shots? So first of all, what we start to see is we start to see a lot of people a long way away from that ball. So you can see there, if Bobby was stood 20 yards back, he wouldn't know if I was hitting it 100 yards or hitting it 5 yards to this first flag. From there, we know that we've got a lot of rotation of that club face. We've got a lot of things going on here. That club can fall back behind. We can also start to do a lot of things with the face. It might fan open, but a lot of times we start to see people get into this position, which is closed, and then from there we start to see that shot right there, the one that is heavy. That leading edge digs into the ground. We don't get the contact and we don't get the shots that we want. So from down the line, ideally what I would like you to see when we're in and around the greens is we get around about a foot away from the ball. So again, yes, we all will have different size shoes, but again, we want to be a lot closer to that golf ball and start to think, right, I'm now a lot taller because I can get this club now working much more neutral on the way back. So you can see there, club face matches my spine angle, but also it's very unlikely that I'm going to drag it in here. We're going to be able to see that nice and clearly from making some practice swings. We can see that it stays out in front of my hands on the way back and on the way through. Face on now, we need to think about where is your ball position. But first of all, for this shot, what kind of ball flight are you looking for? Are you the person standing here to try and go, okay, I've got to get that ball up in the air, that's the shot, that'd be great, that'd be fantastic. That's not necessarily even going to be the most consistent. So we need to think about, right, how am I going to throw this to get it as close as possible? Well, I've landed that just on the green and I've got that ball rolling out nicely and right next to the flag. So you can see there we need a lower trajectory. So I've got to think about that when I'm picking my golf club. So I'm picking my golf club. I have got my 52-degree Skyforger wedge here, and I'm going to now go a little bit further back in my stance because I'm going to encourage that I've got a little bit more forward shaft lean. But because we are closer to the ball, we are actually using a little bit more of the bounce on the toe end of the club. So on this part of the club here, there's a little bit more bounce and we can get that interacting with the ground. So if I can do that, we can get into that nice position. And now I'm thinking, right, if I keep my wrist nice and neutral here, there's not much cupping because we're not trying to send the ball into the air. We also want to avoid that motion there, which is, again, flexing your wrist. You see that that club face is then closed, that is then pointing to the ground, and that's not what we want to see in regards to coming into a chip shot, because that's going to encourage again that leading edge to get stuck in there. So nice and tall, Ball position slightly back of centre, and again here I'm going to get my weight left. I'm not forcing the hands forward. So again, that would encourage me to again bow that wrist and encourage that closed face. I'm going to get my weight on the left hand side, really feel like this right foot hasn't got much pressure on there, and then I'm just going to rotate through. And you can see there, low ball flight, a little bit of spin, and exactly like we threw that golf ball. So yes, it landed a little bit further, but trajectory was exactly how we wanted it, and I basically made that nice and minimal. Not much motion there, not much going on, and that was how to play a nice basic shot. And guys, before we change location, we have to mention Hack Motion because they do have a Black Friday sale on, so you can get up to 20% off. And for me, that's something that has really helped myself and James out. James is probably hitting some of the best iron shots he's ever hit. Unfortunately, I do have to say that. And again, it has really helped me out with my chipping and my putting, which we are going to be talking about tomorrow. So if you're looking to improve your practice this winter, maybe get something that gives you an actual true feel instead of just something that is not real, this is the perfect training aid for you. This can really help you out, guys. This can help you get your contact better, start to get you improving your game and just enjoying your golf a little bit more. But let's change location. If we're going to this front flag here, we can do the same kind of shot. I can still think, right, if I was going to throw this, again, I would be throwing it to land pretty short, just in front of the green, and then let that roll up. Again, we can get closer to that golf ball, shaft a bit taller. My weight is on the left, land it a little bit short, and we can see we've got a nice little bit of grip on there, and we was able to just brush that turf. You'll notice there is not much interaction with that turf, so I've not done much there. I've not tried to take a divot, I've not tried to hit down into the golf ball, and I've been able to do that. Let's say now that this is a bunker, so now we need some loft on this club. Now we want to get that ball into the air, that we want to play the James Robinson, we want to play that floating golf shot. Again, here we don't need to necessarily make a huge swing and really get our wrists involved. Here we can set the loft on there, we can get this club face nice and open, get that ball position a little bit further forwards, and still keep those wrists neutral, but change the ball flight. You can see there, not a flop shot, but plenty of height there, up and over there and landing soft. So guys, think about that when we're thinking about your setup, when we're thinking about hitting the ball closer, chipping it closer and lowering your scores, we want to keep your wrist nice and neutral. If we get the basics correct this winter on all those different lies you're going to get, you're going to see that you're going to get better numbers. We're also going to see you get a similar flight, a similar strike, and be able to control your distance a lot better.